Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever time it is. Um, Welcome to the Racing Addicted family of channels. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. Um, this is Crash with you live. Uh, Action. All right. So when the channel went live and started playing music, the reconnaissance laps and cards going to the grid were happening, and as that was going on, it rained buckets. We have a very, very wet track now, and during that, Charles Leclerc aquaplaned and crashed. He's now out of the sprint race. That's why you see him after turn 15. He's out. He's out of the race. He's crashed his car. Must be water. Must be the wall. Yeah, you guys are making those jokes. Um, I've been trying to find as much information as possible before coming on the air, which ended up causing me be a little bit later than I expected. Yeah. Charles Glick was not the only one aquaplaning. They saw Ollie Behrman. They saw several other people having issues with the amount of water that came down. It is not raining now. They were showing crew doing something with one of the channels. So again, during the reconnaissance laps and the lap to the grid, Charles Leclerc aquaplaned and crashed his car. He's out of the sprint race. So he's literally a do not start. Excuse me. The question I'm looking right now, I'm looking at some of the radio messages. Sprint race now. Yeah. So this is it still raining? No, it's not raining at the moment. Um oh, that's a massive hit. Yeah. Thomas they're pointing out that as it stands right now, it's not raining, but in another 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so from now, um, there'll be another cell that could drop water onto this track. So we have a sprint race with strategy, everyone. Yuki Tsunoda is starting from the pit lane. That was he was I forget where he was starting, but ultimately they chose to break park Ferme. He was out in Q1, so they changed stuff on the car. So he starts from pit lane, so he's back to the grid. About a few minutes away, and even F1 is starting a little late with their broadcast. They just started. It's 10:57, so 11:57 prep time. Is the starting grid gonna scroll for me, or it's just a static half of the image? I'm just curious, boss. But again, the other story coming in today was that Anthony Antonelli was on the pole. Oscar's second, beside him. Lando's behind him. Oop, down to a couple. Lewis Hamilton seventh, Al Albon eighth, Isaac Gard ninth, Fernando 10th, Dunkelberg 11th, Esteban Ocon 12th and 14th, Lance Stroll 16th, Carlos Sainz. Oh my God, Carlos went wide and did not set a time in Q2, so he was out. And for the last, we've got now Yuki Tsunoda, Lance 16th. Now we have Yuki Tsunoda starting from pit lane. We've got Ju in 17th, Ali Behrman 20th, and Borleau 19th. Getting a prediction. Anthony gets a poop start, and Oscar is alongside. Lando goes for an Oscar. They push Antonelli wide. Through goes Max. Yeah, but I don't. Antonelli's been good all weekend long so far. He was good all day yesterday. Um, Ultimately, I don't think Antonelli's going to get a bad start. It's just going to be a question of how he's going to be in the mix with the guys up the front. And that for me was always the big question, pit of point of danger. And it's now even more so with they. Is it raining again? They are lined up still on the grid, so we are still in the moment right now. We're going to start again. For those who don't know, Charles Leclerc has crashed on the reconnaissance laps going to the grid. He's now out of the sprint race. Oh, they're starting intermediates. They could go. They could go. So they're starting on intermediates. So the formation lap will be started behind the safety car. So the other scenario here is that Carlos Sainz is going to be starting on a wet tire. How is it possible to crash before the race even start? It rains and you aquaplane. Same way Isaac Hajar crashed out before the race. Does the rain give Max a place automatically? Um, no. Max is ahead of Leclerc, but it does Hamilton down. Uh, Basically, are going to be benefiting of Charles is out. Yeah, it is going to be a standing start apparently. There are in the formation lap now. Oof. So they are on the formation lap right now. Yuki Tsunoda is going to be a pit lane start. Per the rules now, Yuki does have to go around on the formation lap. There's a lot of spray, even, and they're behind the safety car too. That's the crazy part. So Oscar saying there's a big river in turn 10. So as things stand, because this is so wet right now, DRS will not be enabled. I don't suspect DRS will be enabled for the race at all. The track, I don't think the track will be dry enough. And then on top of that, we're predicting more rain in about 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes from now, it looks like. Max Verstappen on the formation lap locked up on turn 17 chicane. Cars had to pass him by. Well, this is going to be very perilous. And he's worrying that he can't see anything beyond safety car. I mean, they're going at reduced speeds still. So Max is passing people on track because he's trying to get back to his spot because he went off and came back on and wasn't fully passed by everyone. He's allowed to get to his back to his place. Starting procedure suspended. So this is a starting procedure has presented this at what's bringing out the red flag. So we are in basically 10 minutes. Basically, they're going to look where things are in we'll see where things are in 10 minutes from this point. So we're looking at 11 15 so 12:15 track time. They're going to reset, we're going to take a look at where things are at. So again, for those who are just arriving right now, what has happened? We when we went live with music, this was about like 25 30 minutes ago. Uh, the cars were on reconnaissance laps and basically going from doing reconnaissance laps and going to the grid was happening. And in that moment, a deluge of water came down on the track. Yeah, we're talking, and Charles was out on an intermediate. He really should have been out uh, on a wet tire, and he aquaplaned and crashed. So he's out of the sprint race. They are returning back to the pits. So, given how much rain came down on the track, given the scenario that we're in, they've gone to a red flag. Look what's going on. So we are in a red flag scenario. I know that it has gone back to track clear, but we are still really in a red flag scenario for another uh, 6 minutes, 6 7 minutes. Can they change the dryer tires now? Yes, they can change the tires, but I don't think they will because they're all on intermediates. So, so again, we are in a scenario where the start procedure has been suspended. We went into a red flag scenario for that. They brought that people back into the pits. Again, yes, thank you. Science is the only one on wet tires. Now, with another 10 minutes going to pass, um, Williams just has the option to put him onto intermediates. So Miami's thinking, no, Miami's just got a burst of rain. Where's Leclerc? Leclerc is out of the sprint race because he crashed during the reconnaissance laps. That would be about 30 minutes ago. Again, what you guys are saying in chat right now. Again, you're listening to the Races to the channel right now. Again, we are in a red flag scenario. Welcome to your Harbinger red flags, everyone. Didn't think I would get that before the lap. So it looks like we have lost a lap on the race. It normally is a 19 lap race because they went around. Again, they're going to drop a lap on the race, so it will be 18 laps instead of 19. Yeah, drivers are out of their cars. They will be out of their cars for another 4 to 5 minutes. Well, Charles did not bring out a red flag. It was only a yellow flag on track for him. So I technically don't. He doesn't count as a red flag, but I did get the red flag for the suspended restart. So, well, though I don't have a streak going. Unfortunate, there was no red flag during quali yesterday, but there was a red flag in FP1. So I've got 2 red flags this weekend. Again, we had a normal poll before this started. Which team do you think will win the most points? Again, 49% think will McLaren. That's again likely with the 2-3-3. Mercedes 30%, Ferrari 11%, Red Bull not 8%. Again, this was before Charles crashed, so see what happens. Will there be rain tomorrow? There is prediction rain in the forecast for tomorrow. So one of the things that James Walls said after Charles crashed is that they don't really have data on the tires for the wet and the intermediates here, so they really don't know. They don't have any data. They don't know how the wets are going to perform, how good the intermediates are going to perform. Where's the crossover point? They just don't know, and that's going to be an interesting part of what we're going to deal with. Did your guys saying gotta get the reaction of Matt from FP1? Matt might not even been broadcasting when it's happened. Is the crazy thing. I mean, I literally came on and was getting prepared to stream, and next thing I know, I see Charles having crashed. So right now it's 12:11 track time. They went suspended start at 12:04. So we've got about another 3-4 minutes before we hear another scenario. We hear back from race control what is going to happen next. So F1 TV is basically saying that they're not expecting any rain for another 30 or so minutes. And if that's the case, it's going to allow the track to dry up for them to race. Again, for those who are arriving right now, we are in a suspended start procedure due to the amount of rain that had dropped in the past 45 minutes, I should say now. And in the reconnaissance laps, while it was raining, Charles Leclerc on intermediates aquaplaned and crashed into the wall. Hit turn, yeah, turn 10. And he had to stop on track. Ended up stopping past turn 13, I believe. Charles was out on intermediate tires when he was doing the reconnaissance laps. He was one of the first cars out as well. Why fix the time and delay it due to weather condition? Because it's not safe it was not safe to drive. When they did the formation lap, they did so behind the safety car, and even on the reduced speed behind the safety car, drivers could not see due to the spray that was coming up from the cars. And that's the big issue is that this it's not the rain coming down. It's not the tires gripping the track per se, but ultimately it was the spray that's coming off the track that's the big issue. And again, this is why we you're hearing things about a spray guard in the works, which they're still working on. The last prototype that they tried failed, but it's a concept that's still in the works that they're still working on. It's like for people who don't understand wet tires, because Sky pundits are idiots. Yes. Moving on. The point of the wet tires and not the race in downpour is to give extra traction when there is standing water on the track. And that's the scenario that we were dealing with, is that it was a literally a complete downpour. Can they weather forecast and schedule according to good weather? No, weather forecast is so hard. So hard. You're looking for a perfect minute by minute forecast, and this just doesn't happen. We are at 12:15 track time right now, 11:15 Central Time, where I'm at. We are waiting right now for cars. They are right now trying to dry the track as best as possible. There are spots that are drying very well. There are spots that are not drying very well. Yeah, I mean, you guys, like, this is actually the best time to run the Miami Grand Prix. Be quite honest, this is before we head into summer. This is the end of winter starting. It's warm. But it's not as warm as it could be. I mean, we could be. I mean, like the track temperature is right now 32. It was like 40 degrees yesterday. You can get again like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit easily down here, and that's let me do the math here. So that's 37 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That is extremely. I mean, we go something like 110, which is possible. I mean, that's 43 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the new update is that it will be starting at 12:25, so that is 9 minutes from now. With the amount of rain that has where things are at the moment, they are predicting inners for this race. If we build an all indoor circuit, that's not yeah, it's not healthy. The problem with the indoor circuit is that it's the emissions of the cars will build up in that facility. So no, not really. I mean, like it could be possible. We're talking the same thing, like, but you'd be asking to flip Vegas effectively. It'd be a bit more of a wash, and even still, like Miami is still warm, still very hot. In November, it's not as hot, but it's still a bad situation. Again, I'm a New England Patriots fan, so I understand. I mean, basically, they're racing around where the Dolphins play. So I understand humidity, heat, dealing with Miami. So sprint will be starting at 12:28. It is now 12:18. So we got another 10 minutes before we do a new formation lap. Burger King is 40 minutes from Gillette Stadium. Is that with traffic or without traffic? Because for me, that's with traffic. I was one town over. I grew up one town over, south of Foxborough in North Attleboro. But I lived North Attleboro comes to a point on the south end that meets Attleboro, South Attleboro, and across the line, state line to Cumberland. Race hasn't started yet. This is basically getting into a formation lap. Again, they're looking at like getting them back to the grid in on to starting the formation, starting the formation lap and the race itself in about 5 minutes. So looking at what you guys are saying in. Will Yuki start from the pit lane? Yes, Yuki is starting from the pit lane. He did break Park Ferme. So we've got about 5 minutes left to go before. I suspect that they will start moving again in about 5 minutes. We'll see. We'll see. Will the clerk be ready for quali? He should be ready for quali. Unless something massive has happened, he should be ready for quali later today. Um, Mia, welcome, people. I'm late from work, but is there a delay? Yes, there has been a delay. Ultimately, what has happened is that Charles Leclerc has There's been a deluge of rain just before the as they were doing the reconnaissance laps and coming to the pit lane, and basically Charles Leclerc has crashed out before the race has happened. So he is a did not start DNS. Why does not F1 race in the rain anymore? Because the level of rain that we got here was too dangerous. Will they do a standing start or a safety car start? I'm not sure at the moment. That I'm curious about. Again, we're about 6 minutes before the start, before we go back to that start time. What is a constant lap? So this is before the race, like about half an hour, 45 minutes before the race. They will allow the cars to go out onto track and to do laps around the track. And typically that ends up bringing the cars to the grid where they start on track. That's where the grid walk. That's where how the cars get to that place on the grid walk. Because they had to go around a second time and chose to do an aborted start, they've dropped one lap out of they dropped one lap off of the race, so it's an 18 lap race as opposed to 19. This type of rain is not common in Miami in mid-November. No, it's not even an issue. This type of rain is common in Miami any type of the year. All right, you can get it. Just they are by the coast. It's very easy to get a cell form pretty quickly and drop water on you. You know, out of nowhere, pretty much. That is just the nature of being by the coast. Um, So it doesn't really matter whether it's now here in May or in June or July or in November. You're going to get, that's just the nature of the weather you're going to get. So safety car is out on track and he's going around and there's a minimum amount of spray, which is that's very good. So that's a good sign. Track has cleared up significantly. There's a small but very small amount of spray, not the massive torrent of spray that we had like 10 minutes ago. Track is still wet, but it's much drier than it was 10 minutes ago. So the coach there is okay. He's in the media pen. He just had an interview. He couldn't see the amount of damage because of how much it rained. Basically, he was trying to drive and lost control of the car. He wasn't even pushing. So we have about 2 3 minutes before they go back out again. So they're just saying that they could go end on slicks. So Yuki Tsunoda is now going to take the start from the grid as opposed to the pit lane now. About 2 minutes left before we get to the formation lap. So those who are just arriving right now, we have had a delay. About 40 minutes ago, again, as our stream actually started 40 minutes ago, cars were on track for the reconnaissance laps and to head to the grid. At that time, there was a deluge of water from rain coming down. And during that rain, Charles Leclerc aquaplaned and crashed. So he's not going to start this sprint race. A couple other people did aquaplane, including we did see Ollie Behrman aquaplane. I did see F Max Verstappen aquaplane on the formation lap. Anyone from the United States here? Anyone? You're talking to your commentator. This is Crash Ariza. I am from the Northeast, actually. I grew up in the Northeast, in the New England area. I'm currently living in Texas, in the North Texas area. But right now we have been in delay. So they did the formation lap, and they chose to suspend the start because of the rain was the track was too wet to be safe to drive on. They wanted to wait for the track to dry off a bit, and it has. And we're now leaving pit lane for a new formation lap, effectively. So it is yet not known whether we're doing a standing start or a rolling start. Yeah, visibility is significantly better with the delay now. So they are still there. The safety car is still leading at the moment. As they are going around track right now. Again, those of you who are on YouTube, now is a great time to subscribe and like. Who's our subscriber? We're about 150 away from 140,000. Thank you so much. I know there are about 22 in Twitch right now. Yeah, a couple dozen. Thank you so much for those watching. Again, we're growing on Twitch as we go. Again, to reiterate, those who are just arriving right now, beef. So this would be about 45 minutes ago during the reconnaissance laps, the originally set time for the reconnaissance laps. Uh, the weather changed suddenly and became a deluge of water, and it was so. Max is saying that there are raceable conditions right now. So when those reconnaissance laps happened, this is the laps that will lead to them getting on the grid. It rained significantly, and so Charles aquaplaned on intermediates and crashed. So did not start. We then had basically we started the formation lap, went around and race control aborted the start and red flagged the session, and that was a good call because at that time, and this was about again 30 minutes ago, um, the stream of water coming off the tires of the cars at it was a wall of spray at reduced speeds. So we've waited now about 20-25 minutes, and ultimately we've the track has dried off, and so now that it's raceable conditions. Why are they counting down laps? Because they've actually gone around multiple times. So when they aborted the formation lap and went aborted the start sequence, they went around again. That was one lap. Now they've gone around the track again. That's another lap. So normally what would have been a 19 lap race is now dropped to 17 laps. You guys right now. There is what speed Ellie, what you don't I don't know what your question is. It's just what speed can they? I don't know what your full question is. You get points in sprint race. Yes, you do get points in sprint race. Basically, P1 gets 8 points and it drops 1 point down to P8, which is getting only 1 point. So there are points at risk, but only for the top 8 scoring. No, no, don't feel sorry, Al. It's just I don't know what your full question is. Under peace, no crash. Oh no, there's going to be chaos. So they are lining up. So they're doing a standing start. They are lining up on the grid. Hippolyta Demolition F1 maybe. Well, here's the thing. Like even before the rain, the question was what is going to happen with Antonelli because this is his first pole. So we really don't know how he's going to. Can they go at any speed, or are they under speed limit due to rain? Um, there is no speed limit with the rain per se. It's more just being on intermediates and the wets. You are not going. You're automatically not going as faster as you potentially could be. Four lights, five lights. We're in a race. Here we go. They are off, and Antonelli's got a good start. Oh, Oscar got to push Oscar wide, and Antonelli's going to go off, and he's going to lose 3 positions. So he's behind Max now. So Oscar's now taking a new race lead. Ooh, that was wily by Oscar. So Oscar is now leading this race. Norris is second, Verstappen third, Antonelli third. Isaac has lost a place to Lawson. Hulkenberg has lost 3 places on that start, and Brella has lost a place. Yeah, Antonelli is complaining that Oscar has pushed him off. So we've got Antonelli and Russell in fourth, fifth behind Max Verstappen. So again, uh, basically Oscar is now the Oscar's new Max. So right now, Antonelli's the big loser, going from P1 down to P4 after basically not getting room by Oscar. Uh, the we have nothing said about that from yeah, we've got nothing being said about that from the stewards so far. So that'll be interesting. So as it stands right now, who's the gap? Antonelli's a second off, so it's Oscar's leading. Norris is 1.7 off. Max is under a second. Antonelli is point 0.8 to Max, and Russell is point 0.2. Antonelli's bouncing between point 0.8 to 1 second. The problem is that we will not get DRS. See you guys cheering for everyone. Kimmy, Lando, Oscar. People saying Alonso has pace. Alonso has earned 2 spots so far. Yeah, Stroll is up 5 places to P11, though that's still out of the points. Remind you, P8 up is points in the sprint race. So Alonso is in points right now. Albon, Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli, Verstappen, Norris, Oscar are in points. Again, we are on lap 4 of 18. There's only 15 laps to go. Again, we've lost laps because of the rain. And again, Charles Leclerc crashed in formation lap before, in the reconnaissance laps before the formation lap, so he did not start this race. It is getting drier, but I don't think it's going to get dry enough for it to go off the intermediates. And so they were fighting me with Ocon and such right now. So right now, our fight right now is between Sainz and Ocon at the moment. Hamilton complaining that the car is not turning as he wants it to do. Hamilton right now is P6. His teammate did crash out before the race, did not start the race. So yeah, so Oscar did get ahead of Antonelli before the corner. Yeah, so there's going to be no penalty for Oscar. Oscar didn't do anything per se. He did get ahead. He got ahead of Antonelli. So this is again a learning experience for. Oh my God, they're showing Ollie Behrman. He goes in between two different cars. Visibility is not great. He goes between two different cars and gets through it. Uh, okay, Arthur is ruthless. Sorry, Oscar is ruthless being said in chat. No, there was a moment where Oscar got ahead of Kimmy just by a moment. Incident involving Carlos. Again, again Antonelli review. No further investigation. So there is noted no penalty. No penalty has been given. Will be given. Looking at what you guys are saying at the moment. Looking at what you guys are saying right now. Those are asking about again about Kimi Antonelli. Max is still the youngest the F1 winner. Yeah, Oscar's now older than when Max won his first race. So Max still will hold that record. Lucas Kim did Charles crash or something? Yes, he did, but he crashed in the formation lap before the race, so did not start. Incidents involving Max Verstappen noted false start out of position. So that's something they have not shown on. They haven't done a replay of just showing where Max was. So okay, so they are no further investigation with Max. Yeah, they were wondering if Max had gone in front of the red line. It apparently has not. And so they looked at it, no further investigation. So there's going to be no penalty for Max. That would have been disastrous here in the sprint race, given that there's so few laps. Again, we're on lap 7 of 18. 2/3 through this sprint race already. Again, you're listening to the Race channel. We are live on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And this is Grash with you with this wet race. So there is no DRS because the track is still too wet. And I don't expect it to get to dry out in time for it to have DRS. So Ocon and Sainz have been still fighting right now, and Sainz just tried to make a pass, could not get it. Do you think it will be dry enough for anyone to put what? You guys are not filling out. You're not completing your sentences. I don't know what you're asking. Not to hate they hype up Kimmy to so much after winning the sprint qualifying. Oh no. what's the best way to put this? They effectively did hype Antonelli. He is the future of F1. Don't get me wrong. He is definitely a Grand Prix driver in a quality Grand Prix driver in the future here. This is his rookie season though. So him getting jumped on the line here and getting Oscar, getting the lead and not giving him room, fair game. And he's gonna learn from that. Will we witness Alonso's first point today? He's currently P8. Actually, yeah, I think we will see Alonso. Yeah, points. So Max is complaining about his helmet. He doesn't like the coating on it and how he's not able to see things. From first to fourth is tough. Yeah, that is tough. I know someone did predict that that might have been the case. I forget who that was in chat. Williams double points, it seems unlikely now. Yes, yes. Williams Science is out of position. He's 14th. He's not going to make enough positions at all. He's been stuck behind Ocon right now as well. So Oscar is told just it was asked about how's the track. He thinks it's not drying as fast as he expected, and that is panning out. So where I think they were talking to Behrman about his engineer was talking to Behrman ultimately about how it might be on slicks again. That's not the case to go. We are at nine laps to go, 18 of 18. So there's 10 laps to go in this race. What happened to Yuki? I mean, Yuki did not qualify well. Started at the back of the pack. He was going to be a pit lane, but given how we aborted the start, he was allowed to be on the grid. He has up 3 spots. So science is saying that it's right now intermediates would be faster than slicks. You know, given what I've said, I'm wondering if another lap or two, someone's going to try and put on a slick tire for the hell of it. Joel saying I don't think any position will be changing right now. Yeah, the race has stabilized right now. I think the big thing is someone going to try and come in and pit for slicks, and that we'll see in another lap or two whether they do. Riveting. Her Charles is out on DNF, not DNF. It was DNS. He did not start the race. His crash happened during the reconnaissance laps while heading to the grid on the before the start finish line, and that would have been about an hour ago when he crashed. 8 laps with 20 pit loss. Don't see anyone in the points gambling. No one in the gamps. No, we're not going to talk about anyone in the P1 through P8, even through P10. So Stroll might try it. Haas might try it. Sonoda could try it. Dewin or Borrell might try it. Huh? They haven't enabled DRS. That is interesting. I did not expect them to enable DRS in this race. So Sonoda is pitting. They are put a medium tire on Yuki. So Yuki's our first penguin basically on slick tires. And this is gonna give information for Red Bull whether to bring Max in for the hell of it. Yeah, they're definitely experiment. Yeah, with Yuki out of position in the back, they have the luxury of using him as the test dummy, as some of you are saying, to experiment with him on the slicks. So we're on a lap 11, 8 laps to go. Oscar is leading the race with Norris behind, Verstappen third. Antonelli has dropped 3 places from the start. He's fourth. His teammate Russell is fifth. Hamilton is sixth. His teammate Kelsler was crashed out on the reconnaissance laps before the race. Hamilton is going to yeah, Hamilton's going to pit. They're going to put Hamilton on soft tires, and that's going to be interesting. So Hamilton right now coming out P16. Stroll coming in. Science has come in. They've gone. So we've got mediums and softs. So right now we've got Oscar and Norris paired up together. Norris is within DRS range of his teammate. Max has fallen back 5 seconds. Antonelli is 10 seconds back, 10 and a half seconds back. Russell, 13 seconds back. So there is a battle right now between the two papayas. Uh, Lando is putting pressure on Oscar. We have a yellow flag. So Verstappen's going to pit. Antonelli's going to pit. We have a yellow flag. Why? Oh, oh, there's been a contact. So Max Verstappen has damage on his car. Oh, they crashed in the pit. Oh, and Max went over the debris as well. Oh, Science has a puncher. So that is what brought up. He is moving slowly. Is he going to get off track? So Oscar just jumped over the chicane, lost control for a moment. Oh, I will. So so Hamilton is flying right now, 2 seconds faster on his last lap, 2 seconds faster. So now the Pirates are now pitting. Oscar coming in. Norris is going to take the lead by virtue of having not pitted yet. So this is crazy right now. Max is passing Hamilton right now fourth. He's got those tires in the working position already. So the question is how much damage Max has taken. Is his tire even good? Hamilton is probably going to pass. He is on his way to pass him. So Norris is trying to get a safety car. He's reporting debris 12, 13, 14, 15. So so here comes Hamilton. He's now just past Hamilton just passes Verstappen, and it's a clean, straight slot right behind Max, and Hamilton is pulling away from Max. He's already, oh my God, he's already a second or ahead of him. Another yellow flag, and we have Alonso has crashed out. So now it's a race between Norris and Oscar. Who's going to get to the control line? Lando got ahead. Lando got to the control line before Oscar. So the order right now is going to be Norris first, Oscar second. Hamilton is third. Max is going to be fourth in this order right now with the safety car out. My God. So as things stand right now, because the safety car has come out, it's going to take it. We're not going to have any. We're not going to have time to get Alonso's car off the track, clear it. Um, so stewards are looking at Verstappen and Antonelli under the unsafe release. That would be on Max. So that would be on Max for the unsafe release. That is true. Lawson is going to score his first point. He's eighth right now. He will score a point. Stroll will be scoring 2 points. Russell will be scoring 3 points. Albon 4 points. Right now, Max 5 points. Hamilton 6 points. Oscar 7. Norris 8. That is where things stand right now. If Max, so Sainz was clipped the wall. Oh my God. Yeah, they're not going to restart the race. I don't. The only thing that could happen at this point is that they decide to red flag it for some reason. I'm not sure they're going to do so with 4 laps to go. Oh. So so the issue with the unsafe release is that Antonelli's pit box is right in front of Max. And so when he was trying to come into pit, Alonso was hit by so Alonso was hit by one of the Haas's. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Lawson, not it. Okay. So it looks like Lawson and Alonso causing a collision. God, we've got a lot going on at the very end. So Alonso is out of his car. He's okay. Um, The car is still on the track. I don't think we're gonna go green flag. If they do, it might be for the very last lap, but we'll see. Is Lawson going to get penalized? We will see. This will probably be handled after the sprint itself at this point. What about Antonelli damaged Max? No, it's you've got it backwards. Max damaged his car on Antonelli. Antonelli legitimately was coming into the pits, and it was an unsafe release on Max's part. Is safety car ending? Not yet. Yeah, this was unluckiness on Antonelli's part with the pit scenario. So Max is likely going to drop out of points contention. But I would see that Lawson is probably going to drop out of points contention as well with penalties. Don't give again. We're still under the safety car under 2 laps to go, 17 of 18 laps. I don't see the safety car ending as of yet. Yuki points. Yuki no points. Only top 8 gets points in the sprint race. That might bring Yuki into points. Oh, that could bring Yuki into points. If Lawson drops and Max drops far enough, that could put Yuki in the P8s. So right now Yuki's out of the points. If Max and Lawson both drop below him, that would put Yuki in the points. So 10-second time penalty for Max, unsafe release. Where would that put him? That would put him behind ahead of Bierman. So that yeah, Sonoda is 12 seconds. So that won't put Yuki in points. It's a safety car ending. I don't know as of yet. We don't have the indication that safety car is ending. We could be ending under the safety car. It could very much be, again, I don't know where things are with Alonso's car on track, which is the primary reason why we're under the safety car right now. So they are declaring that there's too much debris to clear up on track, so we are going to enter the safety car. Yeah, it's going to be a safety car finish, unfortunately. But we had a very good race despite the safety car. Where do we? No, it's not that this is not a case of being on a street circuit. Uh, the way that Alonso crashed spread a lot of debris across the track, and basically where he was, I mean, he was turned around by Lawson. So we were going to have several laps behind the safety car as it stands already. It just happened to happen at the end of the sprint race. Norris deserved to win. Nah, that's a hard case to make. I mean, I understand that we did finish on the safety car. I mean, that did give Norris the win.
Stroll P7 on points. He will stay that. He could actually move up one position with Max dropping back. So he's got 2 points. He could begin earning 3 points in this race. Albon's going to move up to fourth, Russell to fifth, Stroll to sixth, Lawson to seventh, and that I think Behrman would be pushed to. Oh, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how they apply the 10-second penalty. So we will see in a moment. So here we are. The safety car is coming in, but this is the end of the last lap, and they will come across the line. So we are finishing Lando first, Oscar second, Hamilton third, Albon fourth, Russell fifth, Stroll sixth, Lawson seventh. Stappen is dropping to P16. So that puts Lawson seventh, Behrman eighth, Soda ninth. But we still have yet to see about a penalty on Lawson for a collision with Alonso. So if Lawson drops, that will move Behrman to seventh and Tsunoda eighth and getting you that point. So how did Ollie get points? By surviving basically this race. Very controversial sprint race. Yes, very controversial. I mean, this was a crazy race even before we got to the race. Yeah, I mean, like literally, I turned on our stream for the early music, turned on F1 TV, and then seeing Charles has crashed out. So, which Lawson penalty? I would expect that it has not been served yet by the stewards. It's been investigated. There's a pit lane involving unsafe release, Behrman and Hulkenberg, investigated after the sprint. So another way for Yuki to drop to get it into points is Behrman drops. So here's what's going to happen. Basically, I mean, the sprint race is over. Our coverage for the sprint race is going to come to an end in a few minutes. We will be back for the GP qualification later this afternoon. It looks like I'll be back to explain what the heck, what all the penalties, what happened in this sprint race. So I want to thank everyone who's here. Again, we have over 5,000 you watching right now on YouTube. We've got dozens of you watching on Twitch. Thank you for those who showed up. Again, we'll be back again this afternoon. We'll sort this all out, explain the final order and who eventually got points before the qualifying session this afternoon. So for here, Grash, for the Races channel, thank you for showing up for this chaos race. Don't know how it causes me streaming causes this amount of chaos, but it does. You're a harbinger of red flags. Go figure. All right. So take care, everyone. We will be back for the GP qualifications, and we'll go over what exactly happened with all the penalties and whatnot, shenanigans with the stewards for then. Okay, take care, everyone. We'll see you for quali.